Now on to an issue that's very close to my heart and thankfully increasingly important to many of you. Crash tests and the safety of our cars. Well, it is now the third round of crash tests that have been carried out by Global NCAP. Some of you would remember that that's something I've been closely involved with, and this time around, once again, we are seeing 5 models being crash tested. And these are again popular made in India cars. There are 3 variants of the Kwid. There are a couple from Maruti Suzuki, and even the Mahindra Scorpio has been crashed this time around. So how much closer are we to a Bharat NCAP? Here's the report.
5 popular models have failed to receive any stars in the third round of crash tests of Indian-made cars by the Global NCAP on New Car Assessment Program.
Now, this is the third time that Global NCAP has conducted India crash tests. So the whole point here, or the focus here for Global NCAP is to just bring about the awareness and try and also impress upon the Indian government the need for India to have its own NCAP program, which means crash testing norms which are more in line with what you see globally and more modern. What will this mean for the Indian automobile industry? Well, quite simply, an upgrading of existing models if that is possible, or a phasing out and replacement of existing models, because while you can possibly add airbags or other safety equipment into existing cars, not all of them mind you, but some, in other cases, it's the structural integrity of the body shell itself that comes under question, and that, remember, is not something you can just quickly fix. It needs to be re-engineered, redesigned, which means there needs to be a new model in place.
The Maruti Suzuki Eeco, that is mostly used by taxi operators, scored 0 stars for adult occupant protection and 2 stars in child occupant protection. The collapse of the structure in the passenger compartment and the lack of airbags were the main reason behind the results. This model does not offer airbags even as an option. Staying with Maruti Suzuki, the Celerio also scored 0 in adult occupant protection and got 1 star in child occupant protection. The Mahindra Scorpio scored 0 stars in the adult occupant protection and received 2 stars in child occupant protection. The collapse of the structure combined with the lack of airbags explains the score for the adult occupant protection, which means that there is a high probability of life-threatening injuries for at least one of the adult passengers. The Hyundai Eon standard version is without airbags though, and this one also scored 0 stars in the adult occupant protection and 2 stars in child occupant protection. Renault's latest offering, the Kwid, was tested in 3 versions, including one with a single driver side airbag, but all variants received 0 stars in the adult occupant protection, but did get 2 stars in child occupant protection. India has the world's 6th largest car market, but is still the only country among the global top 10 car markets without proper new car safety regulation or testing programs. Mahindra has said that approximately 75% of Scorpio customers choose the airbag variants of the vehicle. There is nothing more important to us than our customers' safety. We are committed to meeting and exceeding all current and future safety norms, and in most cases, giving our customers choice of enhanced safety beyond the regulated standards. Renault reacted by saying, the Indian government has announced that the crash test regulation for the existing cars will come into effect in 2019 and for the new cars in 2017. Renault is committed to complying with these timelines. Maruti Suzuki's statement says, the tests by Global NCAP are conducted at speeds that are higher than those prescribed by the regulatory authorities, not only in India, but also in Europe and the US. The results of Global NCAP have to be seen in that perspective. We have not received a comment from Hyundai.
Now, the 7 cars that have been crashed now, including the 3 versions of the Kwid, have all failed the test. But remember that all these cars don't have airbags as standard, and that really is the crucial point why all of them have just failed even before the crash test could be conducted. Most of them have done all right on child safety, but it's the front occupants, the adult occupants, that have of course failed that test. And so airbags is one part of it. Structural integrity, remember, is the other part of it. I have to quickly add here that the Mahindra Scorpio is the only vehicle out of these which offers airbags as optional. The Indian government has already shown a lot of, let's say, interest in trying to bring about this sort of a new regulation. The discussions have been on with the Ministry of Roads and Transport, and of course Mr. Nitin Gadkari has said that this is something that India will look to adopt very soon.